Well, great. Let's start by introducing each other. Start and just tell me your name and your character's name.
I am Rebecca Gebhardt, and I am playing Chris Hargensen.
I'm Jill Iverson. I'm playing Carrie White.
I'm Lori Maxwell. I'm playing Margaret White.
Great. Well, I've never seen the movie before, so I'll tell you, I don't know a lot of comparison to the movie, but give me a little idea of if this was a lot like the movie, or is this show different, and where did you get your inspiration for playing your characters?
I think the show is kind of a mix of the book and the various movie adaptations that there have been. It does a good job of kind of mixing the book in there a lot more than the movies do.
Okay. And what is just to kind of give me a little idea about the relationships between your characters, and maybe start with the girls, and what kind of a relationship, and why was Chris so angry at Carrie?
Why is Chris angry? That is the question, isn't it?
She's daddy issues.
She has massive daddy issues. I think of her like a mix of Regina George from Mean Girls and Kim Kelly from Freaks and Geeks, who is just angry all the time for no reason whatsoever. And the intermixing of the two of them kind of makes it make sense for me. It's like hormonal? I don't know. Something just sets her off about Carrie.
Yeah. I think it might be, speculating, I'm not you, but I think vulnerability scares people sometimes,
yeah.
and Carrie's very shy and withdrawn, and that weakness is really scary to people because they don't know how to come in contact with it, because it's reminding them of their own fears and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It makes sense to me, but...
Sounds good.
It makes Margaret mad.
And it makes Margaret mad,
Right.
too, because
Yes.
she's got a lot of demons as well.
Well, your weakness does make her mad.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
It's
buck
the
up.
Bible.
Right.
God's going to take care of you. Just,
Right. Yeah.
how dare you have feelings?
Yeah, right? Stuff them down.
So tell me a little bit about that relationship between Margaret and Carrie, and what was really going on there. In your minds, why was Margaret so angry, and obviously taking something out on her daughter about herself. But
Yeah. I think that Margaret's frustration with Carrie, as I see it, is when she has to keep telling her things over and over and over that she should be learning and picking up on. I think that Margaret herself is angry because things haven't gone right for her. And she has lived a good, devout life, and things have not gone well. And she's imprisoned by that, by the fact that she had this baby and she shouldn't have, and she's had to live with her every day as a reminder. So she lives with her shame and guilt. She's pleasant.
what about from Carrie's perspective?
Yeah, there's the whole end of Act 1, I think, sums it up really well when she's talking about how I came to be, and that relationship between her and my father, and how horrible that was for her the night he came to her, because it sounded like she wanted to live a very chaste life and not have anything to do with that. And I'm kind of that reminder of that guilt and that shame when she, when they were weak, and when things didn't go the way they planned, or to God's plan, or however their perspective is. And yeah, she thinks because I don't know, but the way I see it, because of your guilt and your anger towards that situation, I'm just, constant reminder of that, and I am her guilt and her anger and shame. She says that you are my shame. So everything she's ever felt about that is incumbent in me. That is it. Carrie is everything I've ever done wrong in my life.
Right. Well, what do you think about taking something like this, a horror movie, and turning it into a musical, and how do you feel about the music in this show?
I love the music in this show. It's completely different, and I think the more time I spent with the material, I thought it was going to be just like a horrifying, scary thing, and it's not so much. I don't know how to describe it, but I've never looked at the show as being they don't focus a lot on the telekinetic powers and the blood aspect and what happens at prom. It's the getting to that point. And it's the storytelling up into that point. And it's the way she relates to the characters up into that point. So I think the show's doing something very different than the movie and the book, because that's like sci-fi fiction, like blah, blah, blah. And this is, I think they want to make it more real life, and how, you know, religion and shame and all those things affects how people relate to each other. So I think it's pretty cool.
Well, and don't you
But-
think that once you make something a musical, just by the act of singing, you make it way more personal?
Oh, yeah.
So because of that, we have to talk about relationships and not just rely on the horror aspect of it, which Stephen
Otherwise,
King
why
is
would you
so
care?
awesome at. But yeah, otherwise we wouldn't
Right.
care. Yeah.
It's kind of weird to hear people sing really heartfelt songs about things that are outside of themselves. Like, that's where you get the campy, like, Evil Dead musicals, and, like, those are different things. I think this is working differently.
Yeah.
Great. Well, for audiences that maybe haven't seen this musical, I mean, obviously it hasn't been done here before. What is another good reason to come if they're maybe like me and had never seen Carrie, the film, or read the book? What would you say would draw people to see this?
It's just good storytelling.
Yeah.
I think there's some really powerful scenes in here.
Very much so.
From my perspective, I mean, I'm not the audience. I don't know what you're seeing all the time, but and just like the talent, I think, in this cast
I was
is
gonna say that too. There's some
amazing.
great
Like,
performances, so-
if you just want to hear good vocals and like strong singing and strong music and strong acting, like come.
And why not
I'm
come
comfortable
see
seeing
the
that.
show and then go see the movie?
Yeah,
That's
You
true.
know?
We're planning on doing that too.
We are.
See the movie.
Well, obviously the like you said, the very strong cast, and you three were all excellent. Do you kind of feed off each other, and what's your experience been doing the show?
These two are my idols. Like, we got into the first vocal rehearsal, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, stepping it up, good, all right.
It's really nice when everybody listens to each other, and
Yes.
it's not a competition. It's about the story. It's about
Yeah.
what you're trying to. So then it just makes it really fun, and we all like feed off. Like,
Everybody's
the meaner
feeding
Chris
off
is to me, the
everybody.
more like I want to like fight her, and the more my mom digs into me, the more you always have that conflict and that person to fight against. So everyone knows their role really well. So then just playtime.
Yeah,
and
pretty
stretch.
Great. And how do you like doing the show in this theater space and having kind of a smaller, more intimate audience experience?
I think because this show works really well because it is intimate. I mean, we're right there crying and cheering and everything with everybody in here, which is really cool. And I think for this show in particular, because it is so personal and so emotional, and it's not relying on horror, we're talking about relationships, I think it's really great to be this close.
Great.
It's kind of neat to feel the audience hating me actively when I'm being evil.
Right.
It's like, okay, all right,
Right.
I'm on the right track, good.
That's working.
Yeah.
And I heard somewhere somebody say something about that that Carrie in general brings up the whole issue of bullying, nowadays. And do you feel like there's any lessons in it that maybe younger audience members can draw from this?
Yeah, I think it works especially strong for people that are in high school or dealing. I mean, there's bullying even outside of high school, or people belittling each other,
Oh,
or just
yeah.
not respecting, like. So I think there's definitely things to draw through in just how you relate to one another, and that once you do see someone as they
Yeah.
are, you can't unsee it. But it,
Right.
like, yeah, just like everyone's so disconnected on their phones and on their things, and just like. This is a very human musical. I mean, that's what the generally theater, you want to do that. You want just people singing to hear their voice.
To be pretty,
but,
right.
yeah, I think there's plenty of lessons to take away from it.
I
at
think
that
the
age
big
group.
one that I get is that your actions do, like, have repercussions. Like, what you do does affect other
Yeah.
people around you. It's not just about who you are.
And everyone has different ways of coping
Exactly.
with it. And some people shut down, some people like will
Rage.
take it
Rage,
towards
yeah.
something else, or and then, yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for your time today. And any last messages you want people who look at this on BroadwayWorld.com to get about your show?
Buy tickets?
Come see us. Yeah.
Maybe you should come so we don't have to talk about it.
And the show runs
See it for yourself.
through October 27th.
Correct. 2 more full weekends.
Okay, and where can they get tickets?
Go to hennepintheatretrust.org, and you can get your tickets there. You can stop by the box office as well.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.